good morning, good morning. I want to just welcome you to the Staff of Life, Carl's Kitchen. Today, we're going to be making something simple. A couple people asked about it yesterday on how to make the veal cutlets, or the cutlets that I made. And I know this is a simple recipe, one of the very first ones that I did. So it's very simple. Now I have in this bowl, and let me show you where you can purchase it. I usually go to nuts.com to get my gluten flour, or the vital wheat flour. So when you go there, you want the vital wheat flour. And if you say gluten flour, it was make sure it reads vital wheat. Now I have 2 cups and I have a little bit left. And this is all I have, so I got to order some more. And in here, I put about a teaspoon of the non-aluminum baking powder, just a little, and a half a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder. Again, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Chef Carlyn, and we're going to be making a very simple dish to make, and you can use this meat. Once you make it, you can freeze it or put it in the refrigerator, and you can do so many things with it. Put it in tortillas, you can slice it, or you can fry it, bake it, reboil it. But here, again, we have 2 cups of vital wheat flour. We have 1 teaspoon of non-aluminum baking powder. We have a half a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder. And we have here, it calls for 1 cup, but I never measure my cups evenly. So it may be a little more than 2 cups in here of the vital wheat. So I just put 1.5 cups of water and use 4 to 5 tablespoons of liquid amino in here. So you don't have to worry about putting salt at all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour at least 1 cup, saving a half. 1 cup in here, make sure we don't overdo it. Get it too wet because I don't have any more to mix up, so I'm gonna be precise. Now, I'm gonna use my hands and we're gonna mix it up, and if I need any more, I will add it. See how wet it is? You can just about judge by the flour whether you need a little more or not. Now, if you measured your vital wheat precise to 2 cups, then maybe that's all you would need is 1 cup of water. Okay, get all of that at the bottom because you don't want it too wet. I'm gonna put that out the way. Make sure you can see what I'm doing, working it. And I want to get all that off the wall, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more of the liquid. Now, I got it where I want it, so let's put it on the table here. And let's get this out the way. Notice over here, I made some baguettes this morning. Prepped it up last night and made it this morning. Now we're gonna knead this. Knead it nicely. See what it looks like? The liquid amino gave it the salt. Of course, the onion powder and garlic powder will help it out a little bit. And nobody knows. One thing about the vital wheat or the meats that you make, you can call it what you like, whatever you season it to be. This could be chicken, because we are going to put it in a chicken broth that I made, and I'll bring that to the table in a minute because the stove is behind me and you wouldn't be able to see it. Now I'm giving this a good workout. I'm going to work it in really good. And then I'm going to let it rest while I show you what I did, how I made the broth. Now, all right, let's let that rest for a minute. Put it over here, and on the stove, I'll bring it to you. I have made my chicken broth. Now, it does smell like chicken. I use nutritional yeast flakes, water, of course, nutritional yeast flakes. Now, some people go buy the original spike, but it does have salt in it. So you can make your own. What I did years ago is took all the ingredients off of the spike and the ones that we could use, and then I mixed it, bought the seasonings and mixed it myself. But some people buy the liquid vegetable broth, but I prefer making my own. So you're going to bring this water to a boil, and once you start cutting this up, you're going to put it in the water. Now it's going to double and triple in size, whatever pieces you make. So if you make them too thick, you're going to have some large pieces. And we can cut the water up a little bit. And let's see. Let's get a nice, I need a nice, good, sharp one. And now I want this in a roll, so I'm going to try to roll it out. Roll it out, pull it and roll it. That's about as good as I can get it. Now we're going to make our slices. One slice. Now you don't want them too thick because you're going to be making cutlets. And if they are too thick, I'm going to show you some that I made yesterday. And see how they look. Now this is going to double in size. So I think what I'm going to do is cut it down the middle, divide it, because it will triple. And this will be really big, almost as big as my hand, really. So we're going to go with the small pieces. Watch what I'm doing now. Now, if you just want these cutlets to make this different, maybe using them, but technically it's just really what you would call your chicken meat or your vegan. Make nuggets out of it or whatever you like. And I like to cover up them little holes there, the little gaps. Now, when the water is behind me, sound like it's going to be boiling, so I'll make a few more, because you can freeze these. And then whenever you feel like you want something, some of this, you know, you have it, it'll last up to about 2 to 3 months. All right, stretch. Just a habit of mine, I like to stretch. Now remember now, you put a little pinch of, was about a teaspoon of baking powder in it. And of course, like I said, it is the aluminum-free baking powder. Now, what we're going to do is drop these into your boiling water. Drop them into your boiling water. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to show you step by step as once this comes to a little simmer, how they increase in size. Now you do have to stir. Once you put them in there and cover it up, be mindful because it will boil over. So I'm going to take the top off and let it come to a nice good boil so you can see it. Now one thing about the seitan or the flour, it will stick to your rag, so, and it's hard to get off. All right, let's put this away because we're going to show you something else. How do you cook these? Some people use breadcrumbs to season and fry. You know, a liquid, then the breadcrumbs and back and forth. Or you can just use flour. So, let's see what we got here. Here are some that I made a couple days ago. Okay? Now, yesterday and the day before, but I have eaten enough of them. Now, this one is, I like the thickness of these if you're going to use cutlets. Some people like their cutlets thinner, so let's try cutting one in half. Just don't cut your fingers. All right. You're kind of thin anyway. But some people like them really thin. And they flour. Or you can leave it like this. So either way, it doesn't make too much difference. Now, if you want to use these in a sandwich, you may want to cut them. My intention when I made this was not to cut them in half. That's why they're thin. I started out thin, but there are some thick ones in the pot that we did that you'll be able to cut. But that worked perfectly. Now, you can use, like I said, this breadcrumbs, or you can use flour. Now, what I'm going to do, I have a skillet over here. All right, this is almost boiling. I'm stepping away just to, they will blow up, and I want you to see how big they've gotten so far. You're not going to believe it. Look at that. See how large they've gotten? But you have to keep mashing them down, because the more they cook, the bigger they get. Now when you know they're ready is when they stop trying to boil over, or they just stay at a certain size. And look how large that is. I think we can find that great big one that we had. I don't know. They're pretty large anyway. Look at that. I think this is the one. Anyway, let's put it back on the eye and let's get it going. It smells good in here. It smells like Thanksgiving chicken. Gravy. My mother reminds me of my mother's kitchen on Thanksgiving. Okay, cayenne pepper. I love my cayenne pepper. So we're going to season these up. Can you see it? All right. We're going to put cayenne. And we're going to use the sea salt sparingly. Or whatever kind of seasoning you want. Believe it or not, I'm simple. I don't like a whole lot of different kinds of seasoning on my food. You know, when I was raised up, if we ate chicken, then it was just salt and pepper and flour. If we had beans, it was just salt, and if my father put some meat in there, but it was not a whole lot of carrots and different things in our beans, so I wasn't raised that way. So technically, I just cook simple. And how I garnish it kind of makes it different from others. So, all right, now we have the cutlets and the ones I made yesterday, and the ones that are on the stove now are coming along. I have to keep looking back because they will get so large they will boil over. So we don't want that on the stove this morning. Now I've decided to use flour. Well, here's a, no, that has gluten flour in it. Okay. We're going to sprinkle a little flour. We are not going to wet and dry. You can do that if you want an extra crispy crunch, but I guess you could do that if you have, I have some salt. Well, I wasn't going to do it, but let's just get a little bowl. And let's see what I got in here. Excuse me. Let's see. I wasn't prepared for it. But you can use, some people use mayonnaise. And you know what? I'm not going to mess up my, I don't have the ingredients to make the vegan eggs. So what I'm going to do is just do like I did. Just put them on there, flour. On one side. Now you see what I'm doing? Okay, so these boiling over. Okay, I'm going to have to show y'all this because you're not going to believe it until I show you. You're just not going to believe it. Look at that. Do y'all see how large they have got? This is why I decided to cut them in half. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Now they will shrivel up a little bit, but not much. But you have enough. You can call it chicken or cutlets or whatever you want to call it. Steaks, chicken steaks. I make a big batch of basics and then I just use them with it. So I'm going to cut this all the way down and it'll go for exactly 1 hour. 1 hour and then it's done. But in the meantime, we already have some small ones done. So, like I said, you can use the liquid, dredge, liquid, dry, and you have a crispier cutlet or chicken or whatever you want to call it. This one, most people like to use the breadcrumbs for making cutlets, but I like the flour. It's very simple. Now, let's get our pan on the stove, nice and hot. All right, we're gonna fry these little cutlets up. They look so cute. All right, let's get our skillet over here. I'm praying for a picture where you can actually see me frying it. I could move the cameras over toward that way, but then we wouldn't have the space to work on. All right, so we have our cutlets all floured and ready to go. Again, if you want them wet and dry, you can use any kind of liquid you like, even water, really seasoned water, and flour. Season your flour and just go dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. Always end in dry. So you can go wet, dry, and then into your skillet. Now, once the pan is heated up, I have cayenne all over my rag so we can get another one. There we are. All right, now we're going to use some oil. I'm going to be using grapeseed oil. The grapeseed oil, you just can't see it. All right. And a little olive oil. Get your skillet nice and hot. I'm using a cast iron skillet. Get your cast iron skillet, a good cast iron skillet. And now, when you're having, let's say, the cutlet, what can you eat with? Let me wash my hands. What can you eat with the cutlets? Let me get my hands here. Well, I like, you can have peas, green peas, it's good, and mashed potatoes, cream potatoes, and you can have a pasta with your cutlets, or you can, any kind of pasta salad or pasta, macaroni, things like that, or vegetable pasta salad. You can also have asparagus is excellent with it, also Brussels sprouts, very good with that. Rice is good with that, and gravy. Just about any vegetable is good with this. I was going to grill some tomatoes. I have some small tomatoes in the refrigerator, so I may go ahead and grill those. But just a tomato salad with this is really good. So, with your cutlets, there's a variety of side dishes that you can make. Or you can do like I did, cut them thin, make a sandwich, lettuce, tomato, whatever. This morning, like I said, I made some baguettes, so who knows what we may do with those today. All right, and it's good with garlic bread, just plain garlic bread and a salad. All right, here we are. Let's put our cutlets in to fry in a few minutes. I put this morning on Facebook that I would be doing this live, so because normally I come on at 10 o'clock, and I'm a little early this morning because I have an appointment to go to, so I thought I'd be early, get this out the way before I forget to do it at all. So, I'm going to say again, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Carl's Kitchen, Staff of Life. We're making cutlets, vegan cutlets, which basically you can use this recipe. This is a simple one to do. It's not like the chicken where you have to braid and do different things like this. You can also make this same dish, and we're going to show you that maybe next week. We can, when the flour comes in, we'll make this, but in the blender, the liquid would not be this, but it will be soy milk or tofu milk, nutritional yeast flakes, onion powder, garlic powder, and you're gonna add that to your flour, and they're gonna blow up like that, and you're not gonna add any baking powder or anything to it, but you're gonna do big blocks. They'll be like a block of tofu. You cut them like that, and then you store those up in your refrigerator, and you'll have vegan meat for a good little while. Now, if you want beef, you do the same thing, but you just make your sauce instead of like, it would be brown, so to speak. Anything, and I like to use black eyed peas or black beans. Pinto beans is excellent. It's my favorite to make my beef out of these wonderful dishes. You will come up with your favorite, as I did. Now, this is nice and hot, so we're gonna put these, I hope you can, in your skillet, not too hot. A little oil, medium heat, and we'll take them out and let you see what they look like. As far as I'm over here with now these have gotten huge, about the same size that you saw them in. And I'll bring them back over so you can see them again. It just amazes me to see how huge these can get. So, like I said, you're going to do this for 1 hour. Now the video will be up for you to see most of the day before I have to switch them over to those that have paid for the cooking class. So I don't want to cheat them. So look at this. Like I said, you can freeze them. If it's 2 in a family, these will go a long way. Freeze for up to, I said 2 to 3 months, but it can go to 3 to 4 months of being in the refrigerator. Okay. Now let's put them back on the iron, cover them up and let them cook. Let's get in here and turn our cutlets that we're cooking. And with these cutlets, like I said, you can have a different variety of side dishes. Macaroni and cheese. You can have Brussels sprouts, green beans. So many different things you can have with cutlets. Or you can just make sandwiches out of them. Or just, I like to nibble on them sometimes just to have them, especially if they're leftover. Well, I'm sorry if I caught everybody off guard this morning because, like I said, I had an appointment, so I had to do everything early. So I just hope you get to see this. All right. Again, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 8:52 my time, and welcome to the Staff of Life Carl's Kitchen. We were making vegan cutlets, and we made them. Now we're frying up those that we did make. I think they're much better. Most people like them to be crunchy, so you can wet batter. These I did not wet batter, wet and dry batter. But you can do that because most people want that crunchy little crispy extra crunch on them. But I like this. Again, we bought the Vital Wheat from, I get just about all my stuff from nuts.com. Nuts.com. And you want to ask for the Vital Wheat or wheat gluten. And I get 5 pounds at a time, unless you can afford to buy more. 25 pounds is when I'm just going to tell you how it is. It run you a little over $100. So you don't, I can't afford that. So I just get 5 pounds at a time. But it serves its purpose. All right, I'm turning these over for the last time. These are nice and crunchy, crispy looking. I will, like I said, I did not double boil. Let me get a plate, excuse me. I did not double batter these, so they won't have that crunchy fried chicken look, but good enough to show you in the demonstration. Okay. Okay, here we are. Now you can, some people like to use capers and a butter sauce and put over it, but I prefer just having them plain like that. And if they're thicker, the reason why I cut these, because I haven't had breakfast, so I'm gonna have them thin like this, but you could have left them, you know, whole, thicker, and but usually you don't want them too thin if you're just going to put them in a dish, an entree. So here we are. We made our cutlets. You saw how we made them. Go back, look at the video if you missed this, over and over again until you got it down. You can't mess it up. Truly, you can't mess it up. So I enjoyed this little short video on how to make it. And I will take some pictures and upload them on YouTube of the final product that we did today, so you can see how big they really turn out once they're cooked. I'll let you see them one more time. You saw them from the beginning, they were small. Now you see how large they are. Twice the size, like I told you. So that's why you don't want to make them too big. That's that little end. And this one is really, look how big that is. Huge, about the size of my hand. So that'll make a nice cutlet. We won't cut it, excuse me, and thin it anymore. We'll just use it like it is. We'll double batter those. When we make those cutlets, we will double batter. Here, I didn't want too much like that because I'm going to use them for breakfast for myself. All right. My favorite way to have cutlets is creamed potatoes, mashed potatoes, and peas or asparagus. And of course, I just love Brussels sprouts. Now, if you got a garden, you know the asparagus will be coming up. So, listen, I dream of eating asparagus, okra, I'm sorry, okra. Okra in the summertime and green tomatoes. So, anybody in my neighborhood got some extras, just bring them on over. Okra and green tomatoes. Well, I enjoyed doing this short video with you. And I'm going to say, as I eat these, bon appetit. Y'all have a blessed day.